You don't know, you damn well should know. My name is Ragreynolds, and today I want to talk to you about integrity, incompetence, and just keeping your word in general when you give it. So, first off, I just want to mention something that's just happened to me in the last couple of days. I've had forums since 9/11 2013. I've had a website where I write articles since maybe February, March 2015. Now, out of those two sites combined, I've never had more than a couple of hours downtime in a single day. Until yesterday. And, I can handle downtime if there's a reason for it. And there was. My sites had been hacked. They were compromised by some Chinese person leaving behind some strange trampoline spam or something. I don't know. But, yeah. My host had a backup for me. They had multiple backups. They asked me which I wanted. And they told me they would have it restored in 2 to 3 hours at most. 12 hours later was when my backup was restored. And I had to prod them maybe 3 or 4 times in that 12-hour period to actually get them to do it. Now, if they had initially said to me, we will take up to 12 hours, I would have said, thank you, that is great. I can deal with that. I'll let everyone who uses my forums know that the forums will be back up in 12 hours. But when you say to me that you will have it done in 3 hours at most, I am going to be very pissed off if it's even 3 hours and 1 minute later. You should never give your word like that. If you give your word, you stand by it. They said to me, oh, but your site's hacked. So what? Your site has been hacked? That means nothing to me. That's about as relevant as saying you have dark hair. It really means nothing. I mean, if you're giving your word, you stand by it. And if you can't stand by it, then you should have never given it in the first place. If you say you're going to do something, you're going to show up somewhere, you do that thing. You show up in that place because you've given your word. Doesn't matter how ill you are, doesn't matter how bad you feel, doesn't matter how sore you are, or what's come up in the way. If you really want to stand by your word, you will. You will find a way. And it's just complete incompetence and a lack of integrity. And I see it so much these days, more and more. And people just don't value each other's spoken word anymore. Someone's word has become meaningless almost. You can't trust anyone. I like to think that I'm a man of my word. Regardless of money, regardless of ill health, I stand by my word. If I say I'm going to be somewhere, I show up. I don't care if I've got maybe a spare amount of cash on me at one point, and I'm drunk even, and I think, oh, it's a good idea. I'm going to show up, and we're going to go on a nice little holiday next week to Greece or something. Maybe a week from then, I've not thought about it very well, and I've spent all that money I had, and I was drunk, so obviously I wasn't thinking properly. Well, a week from then, I will still keep to my word. I made that promise. I will starve for days on end if it's really what is necessary. That is how much my word means to me. Now, I'm not expecting everyone to be as faithful to their own principles as I am with that. But you should at least be somewhere in between. You can't just make these empty promises and go on about your life. It's anything you say becomes absolutely meaningless if you don't hold up to your word. What are you? What do you have? You're a liar. No one's going to trust you. And that's really what I'm just trying to get at here. If you say you are going to do something or be somewhere, then you have an obligation, a moral obligation. You just have an obligation to meet what you said you would do. You just have to. If you are not sure that you can do something or be somewhere or whatever it is, then do not say that you will do that thing or that you will be in that place. Do not make promises that you cannot keep. You are welcome, society. If you enjoyed this video, then please think about checking out some of these other videos that you see on screen. I'm sure you will love them. And also, if you haven't subscribed already, please just think about doing that. You know that you want to.